Hello, everyone, and welcome to a new series where we talk about what is recently happening in Azure AI. And to do this, my partner in crime is Tilila. Hi, Tilila, welcome.
Hello. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining us. And like me, like Hatim, I'm pretty sure your feed is flooded with AI. AI topics, OpenAI, large language models, AI taking over the world. And it's an exciting time to be in technology. There's so much promise coming out of it. Now, we also have a very exciting opportunity, which is the 30 Days of AI challenge. So now we're challenging you to not only consume AI content, but to actually go into the details and practice some AI and learn about it as we go. So it's a 30 days throughout the month of April. Every day you have a specific content looking at a specific aspect of the Azure AI. And you can read the articles, you can practice, or you can go even deeper. So this week is the fundamentals, and we'll go through it. Sneak peek next week is about developers, the week after about data scientists, and the last week is the one that has a lot of practice. So hopefully you'll spend these coming weeks building up to the last week. So that's what we have for you. Hashtag 30 days of Azure AI. So with that, Hatim, tell me, what was your highlight?
So the highlight was starting with the introduction.
Mhm.
We can first go ahead and see how do you get access to Azure OpenAI and how you can actually spin up a new Azure OpenAI instance on Azure AI, and you can start working on it. So the best part of it is what I learned. You can go ahead and spin up maybe Chat GPT. Go ahead and play around with how you want the parameters and how you want to train your model. In that case, you can go ahead and connect to your data sources as well. So for me, the starting was really good. Get the access, go ahead and start working on it. Now when we talk about this, what was your take towards this week?
So for me, the first article was really, really interesting, which I'm showing right now, because then it gives you clarity on the three types of models we're talking about when we talk about generative AI. So GPT-3, powering ChatGPT, Codex for coding, and DALI for generating images. And I really like the explanation behind how to get started, behind the different parameters. So the first article really spot on, and this paved the way for the second one, which I really enjoyed, by the way, which was about the OpenAI playground. So it's not just about going and integrating into your app right away. What you can do, you have a visual interface here, and you can start playing. That's the word playground, right? You can start choosing what you would want your model to do in terms of function. You can write your content, and then you also get to learn about the different parameters that make a big difference on how the model will respond to you. So that was really, really nice. And then when you click on generate, then you get your output, and then you can play with the different prompts. So a little introduction to prompt engineering, and see how it goes. So, and for those people who don't have access, you also have a video of how it looks like, so you get a feel for it. So the playground article, I really enjoyed it.
That's great. So
And
uh,
I know, as a developer, there's one article in particular that you really enjoyed. So tell us about that.
I love that. First of all, I come from a C sharp background.
Mhm.
So what I did is when we saw the day three, which talked about GitHub Copilot and Azure Form Recognizer. So I said, okay, I'm learning Python. Let's go ahead and see how GitHub Copilot can help me generate a code to scan a receipt in Python. And that's what I did. So I love that article of how you can actually go ahead and use GitHub Copilot as well as the Azure Form Recognizer. But for me personally, I started working on an application with Python. GitHub Copilot helped me generate that code for form recognizer, and I could scan receipts using Python. So that was a great achievement for me as a developer, and I loved doing that. And coming up to the next point, as a data scientist, what you loved about the introduction week?
What I loved, I've been an avid user of Azure Machine Learning Studio years back since it first started. I loved the fact that it was very visual. You could a lot of explainability potential, and the platform of course grew, and now we have Azure machine learning, which includes so many things, and it allows you not only to test, write your first line of codes, or maybe use the designer, but also to actually deploy your model and work with your MLOps team. So it's very, very comprehensive. So what I loved about this article here is that it gives you a clear introduction about all the different concepts that you need to know in order to make an efficient use of your Azure ML platform. Like what are workspaces? What's a registry? What do we mean when we say data stores? And these are things that we get to learn by practice. But if you had an article like this that just shows you everything, it sets you up for success pretty quickly. So I almost think of it as a cheat sheet. Definitely had to have bookmarked this one. So that was a really good article to include in the introduction. So with all of that, of course, there is a two huge topics that are being front and center. The first one is accessibility. How is AI helping us create a more accessible world? And the second one, of course, the big, huge elephant in the room, is about responsible AI and how can we stop AI from taking over. So on the accessibility side, Hatim, tell us a little bit more.
So as of my take, there are so many use cases for accessibility, right? So you can make use of AI technology for so many different aspects in your life. For me, what I took the key takeaway from this is how you can actually build up your conversations. So one of the examples is, the video which we are recording today. It is generating the captions below, right? And that captions is auto generated using the video indexer. The second one, which I personally am following that project since a long time, is the Seeing AI,
Yes.
where you can actually generate context out of images. You can understand, for people who are having difficulties understanding or seeing things. It's so useful for them to to contextualize what is happening around in their surroundings. So these are some of my takeaways over there, but there are so many use cases. You can just go ahead, and go through the article to to learn more about the use cases and how you can actually use Azure AI to fulfill those use cases. Now with this, as you mentioned, the second very big aspect is the responsible AI, right? So what is your take on responsible AI, and what do you think we should go forward for that?
Absolutely, such an important topic to address and alleviate all the fears that are rampant nowadays in this conversation. And what I love is the fact that Microsoft is being upfront about it. Let's have that reflection ahead of time. Let's think about responsible AI. Let's think about what it means. And in practice, how do you implement it? How do you make it a reality in every single machine learning model development? And the highlights for me were the six principles of responsible AI, actually a standard for responsible AI. And they are for a model to be fair, inclusive, reliable and safe, secure, transparent, and accountable. So all the use of AI need to abide by these six principles. And I think this is such an important topic that not only Microsoft can implement, but other companies, other developers, other data scientists in the world could include in their journey towards responsible AI. And the one thing that I really loved as well is that there is a responsible AI dashboard. So
Yes.
now putting it in practice. So having your model, having it being assessed, having all those information statistics telling you about where the different biases are. And I really loved it when I tried it, because when as a data scientist, when developing my own models, I do that manually. I try to see pockets of data where my model is not operating as much and there is a bias towards this type of data, not the other one. Now you have it as a visual way. So that was a very interesting key of the fundamentals.
That's exciting things coming up.
Totally.
I'm really excited about that.
So yeah, stay tuned with us. This was week one. I hope this introduction has given you an appetite to go and look at all these articles and try them for yourselves. Again, next week is for developers.
Yes,
So I know
I'm so
you're excited.
excited.
Totally. So thank you all, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks all. And what we'll do is, whatever articles we have discussed, we'll just put it in the show descriptions. Just go ahead, go through the articles, go through the links, and if you have any doubts, ping us, and we'll be there to help you out. Thanks a lot for joining us today, and see you next week. Bye bye.